Hello guys. Ugh, I am not feeling good today. So this will be the last thing I record today. There will only be 3 videos out this week. But I think that's good for not just me, but all of you because just like me, I'm pretty sure all of you are tired of me doing Overwatch. And I deranked, so I'm a little salty. Anyway, I'm playing Supreme Destiny, a game I have not played in a couple of years. I love this game. Um, I recently started playing it again the other day and I instantly got hooked again. I still had all my details for my 4 old accounts, so I'm playing them. Right now you see this gameplay, but I literally have at least 2 more game windows open up in the background where I'm training some of my other accounts. What I love about this game especially is this CC, which pretty much just means combat. I just set it up and it fights for me, as long as I'm near an enemy. And I have it set to drink a health potion every time I get below 40% health. Anyway, while that farms, let me tell you a story. Now, this past Tuesday and Wednesday, I took my last 2 finals for this semester of college. So right now I'm on vacation. But for those finals, they were math finals, I needed a goddamn graphing calculator. I'm old, I'm stubborn. Well, somewhat old. And I don't like using calculators all that much. Because when I was in school, we were taught we weren't going to have a calculator with us our entire lives. Right? Little did they know we would have cell phones. But yeah, when I was in high school, we had flip phones. And yeah. So, I know my brother, who's in high school now, has a graphing calculator that the school gives him. And I asked him if I could borrow it. He said sure, as long as I could get it back to him before his math class, which was no problem for me. So I go in the morning, 1 hour. I finished the test in like 13 minutes. And I handed in and I left, right? Now, the school, or the one building I was in, has only 2 exits and entrances. One of them is for students, and one of them is for teachers. Although, normally no one cares if a student goes in or out of the teacher's entrance, just because it goes to the parking lot. All the other exits, which there's only one other exit, is an emergency fire exit. So, I finish, I go back upstairs to the first floor, and I'm walking towards the exit that's best for me to get to the parking space that I was at. I was nowhere near the teacher's parking space. So I'm getting to the door, and I see 3 kids crowded around the door. And I'm thinking, oh, they're probably just talking and they'll leave soon. So I start walking slower to get to the door, and I notice they're just standing there staring outside and talking amongst themselves. I get there and I'm like, excuse me. And one of them's like, nah, you can't go out. I'm like, why? And he's like, look. And I just peek over his shoulder a bit and I see a figure of a head. And it looks like a dog to me. So what I'm thinking is, oh shit, someone's dog got loose. And then I see another figure, exactly the same, walk past it. So I'm thinking, oh shit, there's 2 dogs on the loose. And I'm thinking, I always see old people jogging with their dogs, and I'm thinking maybe one of the dogs or 2 of them escaped from their houses that are nearby. So I'm thinking, shit, I'm gonna have to go around. So I noticed there's a little bit of an opening to one of the doors on the far right side, because there's 4 doors. And yeah, I go over there and I look out the glass door, and to my amazement, they are not dogs. There are 2 big ass fucking geese sitting right outside the doors. And then I'm just looking at the other 3 like, This is what you're afraid of. Now, granted, I can understand their reasoning. I mean, geese have fucking teeth under their beaks. They're small, but they have them. And they fucking hurt. And we've already known that there were two geese that made a nest on the, like, overhang of the building. But apparently, the first two kids that were there had seen them and tried shooing them away. And the geese got mad and sat down and pretty much prevented them from leaving. So now I'm thinking, great. Well, maybe I can help them out in getting rid of the geese. So we talked a bit and we decided one of them would open the door on the far left side while I opened the door on the far right side and tried shooing them away. So the dude on the far left opens his door and both of the geese just turned. One of them stood up and like started charging at the door, hissing and flapping their wings at him. He quickly pulled back in and slammed the fucking door shut. So I'm thinking, alright, I can open my door and that would give one of them enough time to run out of there. I open my door, they both look at me and do nothing. So I step back inside and close the door and I just look at them. So there's two guys, one girl, and me. And I'm thinking, that was weird. So we try it again. This time, instead of the first dude that opened it, it was the other guy. Opened the door. Same thing. The fucking geese just charged at him, hissing and flapping their wings. I opened my door. They just looked at me and sat down. I started walking out. Nothing. I started walking away. Nothing. And I'm just thinking, oh well. Sorry guys. And then I just like get away a bit and I turn around and just watch to see what happens. And both guys tried opening two of the doors again. Nothing. They could not get out because the fucking geese kept hissing and flapping at them, trying to peck at them. Then the girl goes to the door where I went out of. She opens the door and the geese do nothing to her and she just walks away. Then I'm watching and one of them tries to go through that door as well, thinking maybe that's the magic door or some bullshit like that. He opens the door. The fucking geese start charging at him, fucking pecking at the glass door and hissing. So by this time, I'm thinking, okay, so these two tried shooing them away and pissed them off. But because me and the chick didn't do anything, they're not doing anything to us. So I laughed and just walked away. And as I was passing the building next door, I see security and I'm like, and I just let them know that there's two students trapped in the building because the geese won't let them out. He looked at me so confused, like I was high. Then I just pointed, he like peeked over around the building and started laughing and said, okay, he'll take care of it. And I just walked away. But the rest of the day, I just wondered, what happened to those two dudes and the geese? So yeah, that was my highlight. I found it extremely hilarious. Oh yeah. Well, that was my story. I know today's episode was pretty boring, but what else can you do, right? Anyway, if you're at all interested in this game, as I said at the beginning, it's called Supreme Destiny. I will put a link in the description to their website. If you're worried about the website is .in, as in .india. But last summer, they transferred all their servers over to America. So if you live in the States, you will have good ping, you won't lag or anything like that. Be advised, there are a lot of Brazilians that play this game. But there are like American clans and stuff like that, so no worries. I can give you guys a quick description of the game. There's 4 characters: Trans Knight, Beastmaster, um, Poema, and Hunter. So the Trance Knight, which is what I'm using, is just an old-fashioned knight. You can use two weapons or one weapon and a shield, blah blah blah. Then every character has three subclasses. So for the Trance Knight, his subclasses are Faith Knight, which makes you a Holy Knight. Trance Knight, which is what I'm using now, which is more melee based. And Magic Knight. You're a knight that uses magic. Pretty self-explanatory. This down here are special skills that you can acquire once you're a certain level. The other classes are Beastmasters. Beastmasters are shamans. They have three subclasses. One of them is nature. Nature pretty much lets them transform into characters. Like you can turn into a werewolf, a werebear, a weird eagle creature. You can turn into a rock titan, and the last one turns you into like I think it's called a hellspawn or something like that. It's just a character that's wearing armor, but he's got extremely good defense. Then they have summon, which allows them to summon animals. So you can summon eagles, wolves, pigs, or boars, bears, gorillas, special tigers that are called trample tigers, or smildons, which are tigers that breathe fire and they have horns. They are by far the best summons at all, because of how many you can summon at once and how strong they are. You can summon dragons, and you can summon a succubus. And for all you perverts out there, summoning a succubus will please you. With the dragons, you can only summon a total of 3 dragons, and they don't really do that much damage more than the tigers would, so tigers are the best option. Then the last one, I forget what it's called, but it's pretty much magic where, for example, you summon little pixies to take over your enemy and add them to your party. Or you summon volcanic rocks to shoot up out of the ground at your enemy. Stuff like that. Then we have Poema, which is a mage. And all 3 of her subclasses are magic related. So there is White Poema, which is a healer class. I think you only have 2 or 3 attacking spells, and everything else is just a form of healing and skills to take away negative buffs, stuff like that. Then you have the Blood Mage, or Black Magic, which is literally just fucking attack spells. Then lastly you have a support group, Poema. Now this one's weird because they encourage that mage to use a bow, because you can, literally all it does is just grant you buffs. It grants you and your party buffs, like strength buffs, defense buff, agility, health, etc. And it has some teleportation stuff, so you can teleport a party member to you. And it has stuff that prevents your enemies from drinking health potions and stuff like that. So it's like a PvP type class for the Poema. And then lastly we have the Hunter, which is a archer, ranger, imagine a rogue. So you have 2 weapon sets, bows and claws, or daggers. Pretty much claws. So one of the skill groups is obviously bow related the entire way, grants you buffs and stuff. So you do more damage, you shoot more arrows at once, etc, etc. Then another of the subclasses, I forget what it's called. I have a hunter class, but I haven't used her in so long. Um, Pretty much it gives you like special shopping abilities, I guess. Like you buy stuff for cheaper, you sell stuff for a bit more. Um, you have some AoE attacks, etc., etc. And then the last one is melee based, where that's where the claws would come in. So, for example, you can poison your claws, you can give your claws freezing effect, so if you slash an enemy, it freezes them in place for a few seconds, and just stuff like that. Really, any of the characters are good if you know how to give them stat points. For example, here's mine. I focus on strength. Dex, I'm leaving that at 300. Con is constitution or HP. I'll get that to 1000 max, and strength will get up to around 2000. And then this down here, because I'm a trance knight, I put more points into trance. These two have points because of the gear I'm wearing. See, it gives skill mastery 34 and certain skill mastery is 20. So that's why these two are up. But yeah, it's still good to put some points into these because these both have some skills I can use to make myself stronger. And yeah. So last bit of info on this game. Trance Knight and Beastmaster are only male characters. Mage and Hunter are only female characters. So if you're not okay with gender swapping, choose one of the ones that are your gender. If you don't give a fuck, use whoever you want to use. There's always guides everywhere showing you like good builds for all this stuff. So yeah. And that's pretty much it. Alright, well, I hope you guys have enjoyed, and I'll see you some other time. Peace.